Good evening, it's Kuro. Got a random battle in my Shimakaze, going over the matchmaking. The threats to my ship would be the enemy midway, um, all the cruisers, the Baltimore, Cleveland, Marceau, Kagero, and U-190 round out the threats to my ship. The map is Land of Fire, 4-cap domination, and we're gonna kick this one off with a lesson plan on what do you do as a torpedo boat when the enemy team just doesn't want to cooperate and they just run from you all game. This is one of the biggest problems that affects torpedo boats and is a primary reason why gunboats are more consistent performance-wise than torpedo boats. You can do everything right in a torpedo boat, you can still have a really poor match just because the enemy team runs from you all game and it's difficult to get into a position where you're able to do something. So right out of the gate, I'm going to push up here to A-cap, and I'm just not even really that interested in taking the cap, just sniffing around, see if there's any enemy DDs. I know there's an enemy sub around. See what I can spot and go from there. So we do see a Lipitano, and just tentatively looking, he's right. It looks like he's closing in on the edge of my torpedo range. And just one of the ways that I've noticed it, these Italian battleships are driving, they tend to really push in aggressive like this and then smoke up. A lot of times you can make a prediction and catch them with your torpedoes as they smoke up. They'll sit and they'll ride in that smoke a bit, and you might be able to catch them, because usually they'll try to bail out when their smoke's wearing out. So I'm just firing some a wide predictive path, just anticipating he's gonna come around here, probably slow up, take some shots, smoke up, and then be ready to bail. And right here, I notice on the map that there's already some bad stuff going on for me with the way that all the enemy ships are flowing into decap. That's telling me that, you know what, I'm gonna get on this cap early, because most of the big ships back here, the meat and potatoes, they're all heading out to the other side of the map from me. So you can see he's smoking up, and honestly I think my team took too long to shoot at him, so kind of threw my torps off. I figured as soon as he was visible, the Kansas and the Missouri would be shooting, making him smoke up, and you know, that's that. So those torpedoes just kind of a waste, but I'm gonna go on ahead, pick this cap up, and I'm going to make the first big move. And the first big move is I'm just going to cut across the map. I'm not going to worry about going to C-cap or anything like that. I want to shove I want to shove into the middle of the map, and ideally I want to try to cut this guy off. He's going to be pretty safe behind this island right now. So I'm anticipating he's going to be on a fairly consistent course. See the rocket planes coming from the midway. Just going to slam on the brakes here. Let them pass right on by. This is actually going to have a additional bonus that I'm undetected, but planes just came through here. This guy probably feels pretty safe, not thinking that he's got a Shimakaze breathing down his throat. Fire a nice tight set of torps, because one of the moves that he could make is to kite out this way in between this gap here. If he does that, I'm going to need a really tight set of torpedoes to maybe pick up one hit, but that's pretty much that. Now the planes do come in, they do spot me, so the gig's kind of up, but this could actually have advantages where the Lipitano turns out to shoot me. I didn't see if he makes this turn or not. He's too busy shooting at the Kagero. But if you look, I think he's just sailing consistent, and he wasn't expecting those torpedoes looking at it in hindsight. But yeah, that's Shimatorps and the value of a good tight torpedo spread. But right now, we've got a Kagero that this guy's massively overextended. I'm kind of hoping that my Missouri's just going to pop radar. He should be able to radar the Kagero right now. For some reason, he's not. So I'm just going to push in there and pick a fight with this guy. Our salmon, I think, is down on the bottom. That's why he's not spotting anything. Now, I do have to be careful because this U-190's out here somewhere. He could spot me and this Kagero could shoot me up. So that is a potential risk. I do get spotted briefly. And that tells me where the sub is because the Kagero's in the smoke. And we're going to get this one. So we're able to bag the Kagero. I'm just going to turn right around and I'm going to push this sub. He's down here somewhere where he was last spotted. And yep, there he is. The Kagero's smoke reduced the amount of area that he could have been right around in here. So we're going to run right south. And this is the next big move. Is, okay, all the enemies here, what I want to do is I want to get into a situation where these guys are going to have to sail across me if they want to try to even have a chance at winning this game. So the position I'm gonna pick is outside sea cap right here, and I'm picking this position because I can torp targets coming this way into decap. I can torp targets coming into sea cap, and at the same time I've got, you know, two different routes to escape if I get pushed by, say, the Marceau through the gap here or something like that. This is a really good example of bait. AFK battleship. I'd love to be able to throw torpedoes out there and just rack up some free damage. The reality is, for most destroyers, your torpedoes are too slow. By the time all your torpedoes get there, all of these guys free farming this guy would there'd be next to nothing left, and maybe you pick up, you know, a couple thousand HP kill or something like that, but most likely they've killed him before you even get there. Now, the dirty trick to that would be if there's nothing that's gonna, and you can see just how fast he melts. Now, the exception to that would be if you spot the AFK ship and you control the vision, you can go ahead and launch your torpedoes, then duck behind an island to break the line of sight, or even smoke up and just keep the smoke between you and that ship, and you can let those torpedoes cook while that ship remains undetected and net you the damage when your team can't really do anything about it. So ideally, I don't want my team to step on sea cap. This is already a stomp. We've got 2 cap advantage and, you know, what, 3 ship advantage, and the enemy team's all bottled up. This is going to be quick. So the longer that my team doesn't cap, you know, the more we're able to do things. So I'm patterning this incompatible. Okay, there's one set of torps just in case this guy wants to just keep reversing. But what I'm really looking for is that, the acceleration. Boom, throwing my torpedoes out to try to catch it. These torpedoes may have worked, except the kid smokes up, spooks the incomparable, and kind of gives up the gives up the, you know, my plan, basically. So at this point, I'm just going to use this smoke. It's a freebie. It's a US smoke. It's much longer duration than my smoke. I want to shoot at this Montana, or I want to torp this Montana, so I'm shooting at the cruiser. The idea here is I'm just trying to get in positions where I'm going to be able to get better torpedo positions on these ships. And you can see this Montana's just kiting away. The cruiser's doing cruiser things. Now, I believe the Marceau is on decap, and there is a Cleveland there, so there could be a radar somewhere along the lines. That's what I'm looking at right now. And I'm just gonna start switching into a position where I can run away from these guys if I need to. And also get a better torpedo position, because these guys still aren't cooperating. They're still running south. Now, I've got 3 different ships here, all doing 3 different things. I'm going to go ahead and lay a big pattern of torpedoes out there. And I'm just looking at different targets. I'm anticipating that Montana is going to accelerate with the focus fire as these ships go down. Now just going to go ahead and pop my smoke up. Now the Cleveland does pop up here. I'm waiting for a radar. You can see the Marceau. He's no threat to me. So if the Cleveland's not going to radar, maybe he doesn't have radar, maybe it's on cooldown, whatever. I'm just going to hang in this smoke and shoot. I've got plenty of HP right now. That wide set of torps, 2 of them catch the cruiser. And unfortunately, the Montana still hasn't slammed on the gas enough to catch my predictive set of torps on him. Such is life. But at this point, I've kind of got into you know, kind of turned this into a game where, despite really not having much luck with the way the enemy team was moving around the map, still turned it into a pretty reasonable game, and converted some good damage dealing opportunities. So just something to think about when you're playing torpedo boats. You really have to keep your eye on the mini-map, see where the enemy team's headed, and then do whatever you can to get into a position to intercept them. If you can't intercept them, put them in the situation that either you need to come to this cap or somehow move in a position where your torpedoes are going to be able to interdict them and cut off their advance. And that's about the best that you can do, to the best of my knowledge. Anyway, if you guys have any questions or comments, leave them below. Hope you guys enjoy the game. As always, the invite to the community Discord will be in the links below. Hope you guys are having a good night, and I will talk to you later.